Welcome back to the Grand Finals edition of the RD2L Content Playoff Show. I'm your host JD, and I'm joined by my co-host Sev, and we have players from both Grand Finalists today. From Mal team, we have Mal himself, and from Jimmy team, we have not only our regular panelist Sauce, but also Mike, I guess. And then rounding out, we have Fox. I guess no one else is showing up for now, so we'll just go with whoever we have for now.
Dude, we also have Mao, don't forget.
I
He
already
said that
introduced
already.
Mal.
Oh shit, my bad.
He was like the very person after you.
Okay.
Anyway, it's probably just going to be a bit shorter of a show today. Only have 3 series to go over, but wanted to make sure we got our semifinals in as well as seeing a little bit into the finals, I guess. But Mal, do you want to walk us through the target series a little bit?
Yeah, sure. We drafted good heroes, and they drafted some questionable things. We called their draft from the very first day. The Discord's really active with how we kind of work through these series. So we pretty much knew exactly what they were going to draft the first three, and then once we planned for that, it was just pretty easy from there. When you can call your first opponent's first three picks every series, it gets really easy to draft around it and kind of predict exactly how you want to play and whatnot. Um, but yeah, so it just once you got that down, because me and Peacock do a lot of the draft scouting. We'll do preliminary scouting, and then from there, we'll kind of work as a team to figure out exactly what we want and how we want to play it. But we knew they were going to pick the Lich Clock every single time, and I think that was just actually pretty bad. Not gonna lie, but I feel like the clock hero in RD2L is garbage. A lot of the time, people don't play it correctly. They don't do the thing where they actually use the cogs to disrupt other people in mid fight and split basically the team, so it doesn't really do anything. And then once you're behind all the hero, it kind of just loses.
What did you think
Um,
about the Radiance Rush Lone Druid compared to getting something like a Deso or even a Mask first?
so yeah, we were looking at it. I thought Target was a lot more farm this game than he actually was. Coming out of the landing stage, I was looking at his farm, and I was wondering what he was going to buy. And then we saw the Radiance over there. We saw the Sacred Bell at 18 minutes, whatever it was. And then from then, I was just kind of confused. I think it was okay actually. It allowed them to win a lot of these early fights because the bear would just it'll kill me and SkyX, and there's nothing we can do about it. Um, but I think the downfall was him not getting it. If it was a 17-minute Radiance, right, that would have been completely different. But 21-minute Radiance is kind of slow. And by that time, my Skana God, who was already behind, just caught right back up with his timings, and then it got a lot easier from there. But I think the mom Deso build would have been a lot more difficult to play against because then he could just kind of just fight. He can kind of just fight Huskar, right? And that was the big thing where he couldn't fight Huskar at all mid game.
Do you agree with Peacock going such a late pipe on the Underlord against such a magic-based lineup, or do you think that having his items was completely valid for that?
I think it was fine. Um, the biggest thing I think we were thinking of was we wanted him to get the Greaves instead because if he ever got gone on, he can always get away, right? So the Greaves was to basically provide enough save to try and save the Dazzle, who can then in turn save the Huskar. So it's kind of like a cascading effect. Either he saves Huskar and Huskar kills everyone with the Greaves, or he saves the Dazzle long enough for the Dazzle to get Grave off on the Huskar, and then we kind of win fights from there. I don't know if it really worked out in our favor, but we took two favorable fights, I think, or relatively favorable given the position we were in, and from there it kind of was a little bit easier to later on go for that fight. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to tell in retrospect. A lot of people I know flamed him for getting degrees, but I don't think it was an incorrect choice. I think both items were the same value essentially when you think about it.
I
Just
think it
because
just depends on
one,
how you're planning on playing.
yeah, exactly. I know we wanted to get the halberd first, right? Because then we had the double halberd timing, and it was really good versus either the bear or the troll, and it kind of stopped them from being able to just run us over completely in team fights. Credit where it's due. Mercy played really well in the Sand King and pretty much won two fights for them in a row. which is one thing, but I don't know. I think we itemized to deal with their target and uh what's it called player Sasquatch, and then Mercy kind of had like a little bit of a free game where, but his item choices were questionable as well. Like you didn't get aura items. I'm pretty sure if you get like two aura items and they just go high ground at 20 minutes and we lose.
It's a
What
But
do you,
good call.
what do you think
yeah,
about the tri lanes that they ran in game one? Like the offensive tri lane with the lone druid?
uh, I mean, it kind of worked, right? I don't know. It's hard to tell because in retrospect it seemed pretty bad. But at the time, Sonic was like, "Oh, I'm farming really well. You can get level 3, and then you can come top, and then you'll have level 2 Fade Bolt. And you can actually trade, and he can do okay." And then Sonic also plays super aggressively and just runs in and hits them 3 times, loses half his HP, which is it's to be expected because that's how he plays, and we kind of understand this. He plays super aggressive in lane and pretty much always tries to win it through getting kills. And then once he gets like the first kill, he snowballs the lead really well. So it's understandable. But then like he like loses half his HP and has to CS in the tower. So eventually I think we kind of like just drew the lane where when I rotated top, the target couldn't free farm anymore, and Selling Out was getting enough farm where his laning stage wasn't absolutely fucking atrocious. So I think it kind of worked out. But that lane doesn't have any kill potential till Bear gets root, right? I don't know when that is, but
He
at
gets
that
root
point,
level 1 now.
oh, does he?
Yeah, it's just a very short version of the root. It scales with the bear
Uh,
levels.
eh, I don't know. I think it was okay. I think it was the relatively correct choice to make. They could have also just sent the Zen King up there and then gave Target the 1v1 versus Underlord, which I think would have been slightly better because otherwise our Underlord just had a completely free game against Zen King. And then how do you push into an Underlord who has items at 20 minutes? They could just stand in front and be a tanky, right?
Yeah,
Just a little bit
definitely.
of the draft.
All right, moving on to game two a little bit. This is the draft that pretty much everyone questioned from the target team, drafting pretty much 4 strength offlaners.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was already like a sick Slark game, and then they picked Legion, right? Like I don't know, the very questionable draft.
I think they were just tilted from the first game. Yeah, I think it happens a lot where they just tilt the first game and then the second game during the draft they kind of I don't know how their team comms are, but I know some teams I've been on just like kind of shut down, and then you have one person trying to draft when you really need 5 people trying to draft, or at least like 4 people's input. Because all the successful teams I've been on have had teams where it's you'll talk about your lane and how it affects the game, right? Because I play 4, I don't really know exactly how the mid lane matches are, so something I suggest might be absolutely awful and I have no idea, right? Because I don't play that lane, so it's kind of hard to tell. I think that's what happened in the second game for them. They defaulted to Lich Clockwork again, and then from there it's kind of hard because you have this Lich hero that's pretty good theoretically in lane. I personally think it's absolute garbage. I think that hero is shit right now. It just gets run at unless you have some super strong carry that just wants to take shield and run at you and kill you at level 1. It's not that good, but you don't want to get shield level 1 anyways. And then once they drafted the Timbersaw into like blind pick, what 20 or whatever pick it was, the fourth pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that game was just over then.
Yeah, they drafted a Timbersaw into what they saw was an Ogre, Razor, and Tusk, so.
Yeah, and I don't think that Timbersaw is good against Tusk really. You just hit him level 1. And reactive armor stacks don't reduce the damage from Tusk to E, so I don't know. But sometimes comfort takes priority over everything else. And I don't know why they. So the whole time we were looking at the series, we were just trying to figure out how we're going to win bottom against this double immortal lane, because I think that's what the most difficult thing would have been if they actually played their lanes. I'm pretty sure these games would have been a lot closer. So I'm not like Peacock is a very very stable, amazing offlaner. He will pretty much draw any lane, and then sometimes we'll win it, right? So that's how we kind of play the offlane. If he gets this like offlane raise or whatever, we'll aim to just out CS the opponent and make sure that they can't come to lane. Sometimes we'll go for like big kills, but it doesn't really happen that often. Most of the time, we just gain like a huge fucking lead from just being able to outbully the opponent at like level 4, and then Peacock gets a free lane and can massively farm, and that can run around. Um, in that sense, it was like we were gonna draft for consistency in the off lane and not like completely lose to this double immortal lane, and then they just didn't ever run it against us. Just pretty confusing to be honest.
Yeah, I saw
But
Target say that a lot of the games he lost this season was when Sasquatch wanted to go mid, and then Sasquatch went mid both games in this series, so it might just be Target
yeah,
talking, but
Guarantee that's
yeah,
started talking.
yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I don't know. I think if they played their normal game, it would have been okay, a little bit more okay than it actually was.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in Sasquatch's position, like being the highest person on the team and being probably most proficient at carry on the team, I'd probably look at your guys' off lane and be like, why don't I lane against this? And then I send Target, who, while Target usually plays like heroes that kind of just draw mid, and then you just kind of draw mid with Cam, and then I can have a great game in the off lane. But instead, he went against Cam, who's, other than Son of God, your second best player, right? But
But you
instead, he
also
could have been
look at
going.
it and see Cam's also not very good. That's how I looked at it. If I was us.
Maybe, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe like my thought would have been like, if I can just destroy this off lane and then come out really farmed, and then be somewhat confident that my mid laner will have something at some point.
Yeah,
know?
see, that's exactly how we thought they were gonna play. But you know,
They didn't, and they lost. So
yeah, I know this second game was just like Cam got a really good start, and then we ran around just killing everyone. Because what do you do with a Quap Tusk running at you at like 8 minutes? Kind of just like die.
JD, your stream says setting up Discord, by the way.
yeah, I did add in the overlay. I accidentally left it off. Now it's on, so everyone can see who's talking at a good manner.
Why'd they pick Timbersaw 17 with already having an offlaner into Razor Tusk?
Wait, real fast. Who's the person that has to leave at 9?
It's
Mike.
Mike. We wanna
Mike. Okay, yeah. Let's
we'll
move
get
on
over
to
to
his
their
series,
series
then.
for now.
Yeah.
So game one, they pick the Arc Warden first phase. Were you that concerned about it, playing middle against that, Mike?
I didn't think about it that much. I didn't know how to play against that lane. I thought I just wing it with
I
whatever
think
hero I get.
as soon as Arc Warden hits level 6, you kind of just want to get out of the
Yeah, I
lane.
realized that after the game. Thanks.
Because I saw you go back to the lane a couple times.
I got
"Oh, Mike,
solo
no!"
killed twice because of that. Never played against Arc Warden in a game before in a lane, so didn't know how that
Yeah.
worked.
To be fair,
Very
that is
powerful
an
level 6 spike.
extremely Arc Warden favored lane.
Yeah, I think that's Arc Warden favorite too.
Well, and I was talking to Frenzy too, and he said he was like, "I'm gonna let Mike's DP through, and I'm gonna pick Arc Warden against it." I was like, I think that could work, but at the same time, I feel like all these people who are saying like, "We'll just let Mike's heroes through." Mike plays these heroes well, and they're also heroes where even if he gets dicked in lane, all you have to do with Death Prophet is press R around your team, and you're still gonna have a huge impact, right?
He just walks bottom and presses R.
Exactly. Like I don't know, like why people. I mean,
yeah, that hero has a good impact even if you're a little behind.
Exactly. Like you can just have two. You could be a full like item and a half behind the enemy mid laner and still have more impact because Death Prophet's just so fucking powerful right now. But
Yeah, it's certainly a good hero. But I don't think banning me out really works that much. I mean, you guys can see my games. I play a lot more heroes than just like the 4 that people say. So it's
Yeah.
not gonna be that. easy.
Personally, I think you have 4 heroes you're really good at, and then all your other heroes are just average.
But
So I do think it's a
haven't
viable
played them.
strategy to ban your other hero, ban your 4 heroes. Because you do drop off a bit, in my opinion.
I think
Maybe.
it's
I don't know
more
about
that
but
the 4 heroes that you do play are really good for
what I
how your
mean.
team likes to play, right? Like the Kunkka DP Razor and then like other tanky heroes are really powerful in that you can still make space for Jimmy even if you're having kind of a rough game.
I guess.
But I mean, you're the player, so I'd rather hear your input on it than my observations.
I don't know. I just like those heroes because I used to play them before, so I just picked them up first. But I think I play most heroes in the game. I just haven't like played them in a while. Just had to get warm up on it for a few games, and I think most things are playable. So I've warmed up a bit past couple of weeks on several more heroes. I think right now I'm comfortable picking about I think it was 14 or 15 heroes.
Damn.
So yeah, it's not just those four. It's just those four because we've played them a lot and like people are more comfortable with it. But in pubs, I've played a lot more than those. And yeah, so hopefully I get to play some different heroes in the finals.
Speaking of heroes that people don't really know you for, game 2 you pick up the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, I played that a lot during the groups, especially in the first half of groups. But then the Javelin nerf happened, so I didn't want to play it as much. But that game was just a pretty good Wind Ranger game, except for the Mars at that time, what they were showing. And then the other thing is the last hero that was left that they played was Alk. And he had like a weak win rate on Alk, so I wasn't that scared. And I thought I still have game against Alchemist if I just denied him a lot and kill him at level 6, but it didn't end up working out at level 6 because I got my Javelin a little late, and he got his ult by the time I got my Javelin to ult him. And his Mars TP and killed me. But it was still fine. I just followed him around a bit.
Yeah, you followed him and like you kind of limited his impact. Like Jimmy was just below him most of the game, and that feels really bad when their PL is just barely behind you as an Alchemist. Also, Frenzy's item build that game was kind of questionable in my opinion. I feel like he went a very I don't know. I don't really see the point of the Manta. You know, like
yeah, Manta was weird. I would have like probably BKB or AC BKB.
Yeah, I think you just go like Radiance Heart BKB or something, or yeah, I don't know, not the Manta, but
yeah. Well, he got the Manta to dispel something. I forgot what. But
Spear Vessel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So just can go BKB.
Yeah, I feel like if your points to dispel Spirit Vessel, why not just get BKB and avoid all the other lockdown like the Shackle and the Ice Breath and the Snapfire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it did feel like that game was a lot easier because he wasn't on Arc Warden, thankfully.
He put the Punani screenshot.
Oh yeah, that shit's so funny.
What was the screenshot?
I'll pin it in Good Gamers.
It was this Alk pick's really good. I really like this Alk pick. Where's this Alk's Radiance?
Oh.
And it was like 15 minutes later, just like, where's this Radiance? What's going on?
Yeah, because it was like 13 minutes in, and he had about 500 net worth more than Jimmy.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Which, I mean, he got his Radiance, and he eventually did go a bit further up, but at the same time, it's not enough.
Yeah, unfortunately. It was hard. I think his side lanes just lost too hard. Actually, no, top was fine. Bot lost too hard. And the Razor was kind of useless most of the game. So
yeah, that was a really good call, putting the aggro tri-lane against that Razor.
Yeah, Razor is really weak against more than 2 heroes, or even just more than 1 hero hitting him.
Well, especially when they have Rubik Phoenix supports.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. So that's how you, I think, counter.
I also think it's more your versus Jakiro. Jakiro kind of owns that hero.
Yeah, the spell damage and the
slow.
You know. But yeah, overall it was a fun series. We all had a lot of fun. So looking ahead.
Yep, only one series left, and that's the grand finals. It's actually crazy. This RD2L season lasted exactly 15 weeks.
Oh.
Like, that's the lowest it could be, pretty much.
Like, oh yeah, I guess we had no holidays, huh?
Yeah, no fucking Canadian Thanksgiving, you know.
Last season lasted like 130 days.
Yeah.
This one lasted 105, exactly 15 weeks.
So it was what, Canadian Thanksgiving, and then like
Christmas,
Super Bowl or something, and
New Year's, Christmas,
and Super Bowl.
Sure,
yeah,
there's a lot of
Jambato team just not wanting to schedule for a week. That was fun.
Cool.
Interesting.
Well, best of luck. I hope to see maybe some of those 14 to 15 heroes come out.
Yeah, pick them.
See you own with them.
Yeah, pick them. Pick them. See how that goes.
Sure.
Oh,
I think I'm pretty comfortable.
One last question before we
throwing shade.
One last question before we let you go, Mike. What do you think is your team's best strength?
You can't say that to the opposition.
Oh, probably.
Well, I
just
didn't ask him for his weakness. So what do you?
That's true.
We're pretty good in comms together, I think. Like, when we're playing the game, we're like very focused and just like listening to what the team should be doing. So
It's pretty fun listening to Jimmy telling you to roast as a question, but then stating that it was an answer. Or a statement.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, I think that's probably our biggest strength.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Mike. We'll let you get to your Div 2 mini finals.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. I'll ask you the same question, Mal. What do you think is your team's greatest strength as a team overall?
Sometimes you have 4 people just yelling at me, and it really brings a nice team solidarity when everyone's just yelling at me instead of each
Dude,
other.
that's my favorite team pastime. Just pick one person to bully.
It's like I'm pretty sure this season goes horribly if I don't have Peacock yelling at me not to like stop doing dumb shit all the time. He levels out my goodness, which kind of works out.
Very powerful.
Is that
Yeah.
the advice that you would give
Has
to
any of
Legends?
your games gone to best of 3, Mo?
What's up?
Has any of your games gone? Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
They're
our
10 and
our
3.
first series did.
The Elk team.
Yeah, we kind of
Is it just the Elk team?
it was just and Grace when we had Blackout in. Still, I think that one get the game.
Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
I think 3 of them,
Interesting.
the first 3 went to best of 3s. You played
No,
against
it looks like only one of them did.
I don't think the third game was ticketed for some reason.
Because you played against the Moo Near team, and they won 1 game.
Yeah, they won that second game when we got really unfortunate on these slash bounces, and then Cam missed 3 times high ground with his drow, and then he got the thunder off, and then we just lost that fight. Just really unfortunate, but sometimes it happens. It's like one of those games where you feel good, you take a fight, you know you're gonna win the fight, and then your 2 carries both fucking miss through the RNG or whatever, and then they just win and literally win the game because they have Terrorblade, Death Prophet.
I'm pretty
So-
sure you're the first non-divine captain to make it to the grand finals since like season 15.
Is that true?
I think in season 15 it was like the Bubs was the captain with Nier and Filski.
Dear.
I think that's the last time a non-divine
When was
player.
who was the season before Sev?
That was Kazi versus not AR, Kende, I think.
Can they?
Was Kende the
Maybe
captain?
finals?
I don't remember who was the captain of that team.
I believe you. I don't know. I think actually I'm not going to say anything.
Scroll all the way up real quick.
Yeah, because SSD team was in semis and he was the last one left, I think. That was
It was
Season-
Bjorn. Was Bjorn divine at that time?
Nah, he hit Divine recently.
Okay, so he was ancient. So, I mean, still, I think.
I think he was legend to draft that season.
Oh wow. I thought Bjorn was like higher up than that, but
No, he gained a lot that season.
Yo, Sauce. Low key, we're gonna ban like all your heroes because we've identified you as the sole individual who carries Jorv so hard through this entire fucking game,
That's
like through
true.
the entire series.
That does happen. Jorv and I, there's a very clear strategy that we have in the bot lane.
Yeah,
It's labeled Sick 'em Jorv, and then he kills him.
I mean it works out somehow.
But I don't even play my comfort heroes on this team, so ban the heroes you want to ban then, because I haven't played a comfort hero in weeks.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
I actually think I haven't played a single one of my most played heroes except for Rubik in playoffs,
Yeah,
because Jimmy won't let me play Mirana because he always bitches. It just doesn't have an actual stun. I don't know what else I haven't played. I haven't played a lot of heroes that I want to play.
Emerald here is kind of weird right now because I used to play it a lot, and Peacock thinks it's really good. I think it's fucking awful right now.
I don't know. I played. The only time I've played it recently was with a Smurf and with a Sasquatch Smurf, and we were playing double roaming Techies Mirana, and we clearly weren't trying.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the drafts are at least the Sunday draft is literally in
Before.
3 days. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to lower MMR captains, Mel?
well, the strategy I use doesn't work anymore, right? Because at draft, Sonic God wasn't an immortal 80 player. Like he wasn't worth 80 on the draft sheet. So I picked him because I played with him before and like in houses a long time ago, so I knew he was like a good value carry player. And then the problem is you need to pick up two people, right? You need to pick up a like one high immortal, and then you need like a value either mid laner or safe, depending on which route you're going. And so the hardest thing is identifying which one you need as like a legend player. So it's trying to find a balance between having a really good, like a good enough carry player and a good enough, I guess mid laner that you would be able to get a value third round pick. That being said, I think there's way too many immortals in this pool now to try that strategy. So I would just say a lot of the time you have to look for people that people that you either know or two people who have proven to be successful in previous playoff runs. Like Cam has fucking single handedly knocked me out of the playoffs, knocked me out of the mini like 4 times. But that and I played with him before, so when we got him as a free agent, it was pretty nice. I played with Blackout too before. He's knocked me out of a couple of minis, I think. So I knew for like a mid laner he was pretty value, but I didn't know exactly how well he would do with Sonic God. Turns out they both like to fucking, I don't know, fake spit on people in the middle of series, and then sometimes Blackout actually spits by accident, and we have to pause while he cleans up his keyboard. It's pretty funny. It's
definitely an interesting story.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting dynamic we had. The team was like we just like got progressively more toxic while Peacock watched shaking his head as a resident PMA Canadian during the regular series. But it worked out because we were just absolutely fucking crushing during the regular season after we've kind of figured out how we like to play and whatnot. Like the first few series were pretty rough because we weren't used to playing with each other yet. And that after we kind of meshed and figured it out, there wasn't like a series that we identified as super difficult. I would say we actually had a pretty easy regular season as well, which is like kind of lucky for us, I guess.
That's what we did. I think it was really funny. A lot of people made fun of me when we were 2-4, and I said we're hitting our stride, and then we proceeded to only lose one more game.
Yeah, that's how it kind of works, though. Like
Yeah.
the first 3 seasons, the first like 3 or 4 weeks to me is just it doesn't matter at all.
Pretty much, yeah. Unless you're like 8-0 or whatever.
Yeah. If you're losing 1 week like 0-2, if you're splitting series, it doesn't really matter because during those first few weeks, the hardest thing to do is trying to fit your stride, especially if you haven't like had a lot of experience drafting. Because I think it's a super difficult thing where there's not enough information on the teams you're facing against yet, so you don't know exactly what to ban, and then you also don't know how well certain people play on like heroes, right? So it's like, for example, we would just give Sonic God a Juggernaut whenever he wanted it and whenever it was open because he just loved that hero and could carry with it in any situation. And then like later on down the line, people realize, oh shit, we probably should ban it, right? So it was one of those things. Yep.
Cool.
All right. We have any more questions for the grand finalists, or is that going to be it for now?
Best of luck to both teams.
All right. Hopefully we'll get a nice.
Are you
close
changing?
series.
Are you changing the massive orgasming cocks off of the banners?
Yes, I talked to Matt about it, and he said that would be a good idea to change it.
All right, nice.
I think it's hilarious still, but
I was hoping you would leave it, but
I have an idea that I think will be hilarious, but I don't know if we're gonna go with it. I was just gonna make our banners were just gonna say Mike neutralized Dark.
Oh my god.
Oh.
But I don't know if the team is all in for that idea, even though Jorv and I find it hilarious.
All right. I'll ask a question to Sev. As a former grand finalist yourself, what do you have to give to the teams in terms of playing on that stage? In terms of nerves or whatnot?
I just turned on some sick tunes, and I was just jamming. So that's how I dealt with my stress. Listen to some punk rock from when I was in middle school.
Attaboy.
Nice.
Also,
Some
don't look at. I mean, if it's the kind of shit that bothers you, definitely don't like look at this like Purge's stream numbers or anything, because like I know some people will be in like, holy shit, there's 1,000 people watching. Oh my god. It's more of like just try and take it as a regular series and I think definitely, at least how I felt like when you lose a game, because no matter what, one of you guys are gonna lose at least one game, and when you lose that game in the grand finals, you're like fuck, fuck, fuck. Like if I have to win either the next 2 games or I have to win one more game at least, right? Try to just like don't let it bother you. Just be like, all right, we're moving on to the next game. I'm just gonna forget what happened last game. Honestly, by the time we finished third game, I think I'd forgot what I played the first and second game, right? Just because you
Yeah.
want to completely wipe your mind and go to the next game. So
Yep.
that's my advice. Also, don't overthink things too much. I mean, in the end, it's just RD2L. We're all here to have fun, and it's all just for entertainment and just to like meet new people and play Dota. So I know some people can get kind of like extra toxic in those moments because they're like, I really have to win. I mean, in the end, who cares if you win as long as you're having fun?
Yeah, our team just kind of chills. Well, half the time, whenever I like do something, I always just think of fucking Brightside laughing at me. Right? I have his laugh fucking ingrained in my brain from like last season. So it's like whenever I do something, I just imagine Brightside just fucking laughing at me. Awful.
That's a very classic Brightside move.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, that should do it for this week and this season for the playoff content show. Thanks for everyone that came on today and that was on the previous weeks. We couldn't have done it without you, even though we probably could have. It's still nice to have people here. Hopefully someone will do this next season as well. I think this was very nice, just having people on, being able to talk about the playoffs. I feel like last season, even though we made it far in the playoffs, there really wasn't anything discussing our series, which probably would have been nice in retrospect, but
Yeah, no, this is a cool idea. I think we should do it next season as well.
anyways, thanks for everyone for watching, and we'll maybe see you next time.
Thanks a lot, guys.